On the Cold River Bank, Part 1, Chapter 1. The calm before the storm. Sarah led a simple life in Missoula, small town nestled in the heart of Montana. After years spent as a dedicated teacher and enduring the heartache of losing her beloved husband, she chose to return to nature as a means of healing her wounded soul. Every early morning, as the mist hugged the land, Sarah would wander along the winding trails, listening to the rustle of the leaves and the whisper of the wind. Deep within, she harbored a yearning to rediscover inner peace and reconnect with her true self. Nature is where we truly return to who we are, she would often remind herself. These reflective thoughts grew stronger as she joined a group of like-minded adventurers, led by an experienced guide named Jake. They pitched their camp near a majestic waterfall, where the steady murmur of cascading water mingled with friendly chatter. For Sarah, these outings were more than just escapes from sorrow. They were opportunities to capture the soul of nature through her camera's lens. Each photograph became a mosaic of emotion and memory, a silent testimony to life's beauty and mystery. Chapter 2. The tragedy on the river bank. And crisp morning, when the mist still clung to the trees, Sarah set out earlier than usual in search of a hidden corner of nature, a place where the hues of dawn would create a vibrant portrait. Drawn by a cluster of brilliant bluebells near the river's edge, she strayed from the camp despite Jake's gentle reminder to stay close. No one could have foreseen what was about to happen. On a narrow, uneven path, a loose rock sent Sarah stumbling. In a heartbeat, she lost her balance and tumbled into the icy river. Panic and terror surged through every cell as Sarah struggled against the relentless current. In that desperate moment, memories of her childhood swimming lessons and the warm smile of her late husband, John, flashed before her eyes. I cannot give up now, she thought, clinging to the hope that her past training might save her life as the frigid water tore through her limbs. Just when her strength seemed to falter and hope dwindled, a dark shape emerged along the river bank. A bear, large and imposing, watched her struggle with an inscrutable gaze. Sarah's heart pounded as primal fear mingled with the terror of drowning. As the current pulled her closer to the beast, she braced for the worst. But instead of a vicious attack, the bear charged into the water. Its powerful paws sliced through the rushing current, and before Sarah could fully comprehend what was happening, the bear reached her. With its massive head dipping into the water, Sarah shut her eyes in anticipation of the inevitable. Instead, she felt a strong grip on her jacket. The bear was pulling her toward the shore. Gently yet firmly, the bear dragged her onto the rocky bank. Though its movements were surprisingly gentle for its enormous size, Sarah lay gasping for breath, shivering in the cold air. The bear stood over her, its warm breath stirring her hair, and its deep, dark eyes watching her with an almost curious intensity. In that heartbeat, fear and gratitude collided in Sarah's chest. The very creature symbolizing wild danger had saved her life, but she couldn't shake the instinctual dread that it might still see her as prey. Slowly, cautiously, Sarah sat up and kept her gaze fixed on the bear. It remained still, its imposing form casting a long shadow over her, and she noticed a deep scar running along its snout, a testament to battles fought and survived. As she regained her bearings, Sarah became aware of her injuries. A throbbing pain in her left arm, likely sprained or broken, and scraped bruised legs from being tossed against the rocks. Yet she was alive, and that was all that mattered. Almost as if sensing her fear, the bear stepped back and sat on its haunches, its gaze still locked on her. Taking a deep breath to calm her racing heart, Sarah recalled what she'd read about bear behavior, that they were often more curious than aggressive. Thank you, she whispered, her voice hoarse from cold and shock. In response, the bear tilted its head, as if acknowledging her words. Realizing she could not remain out in the open, exposed to both the elements and her enigmatic rescuer, Sarah attempted to stand. With a groan, her legs buckled from the pain and she collapsed back onto the rocks. The bear watched her, its expression unreadable. Then, to her astonishment, it nudged her gently with its snout as if urging her to try again. Locking eyes with the bear, a strange connection blossomed between them. Gathering her strength, She leaned on the bear's thick fur for support, and, though her legs shook, she managed to stand. The bear began to walk along the riverbank, leading Sarah away from the treacherous current toward a faint trail that she recognized as the one leading back to camp. Sarah marveled at the bear's unexpected blend of strength and gentleness. It was as if the animal understood her plight and vulnerability. In that moment, she felt a surge of affection for this creature, a bond forged in the crucible of fear and survival. Chapter 3. After the storm, the first emotion since safely on shore, Sarah lay trembling with shock, her body battered by the icy water and marked by wounds, shuddered as the sounds of the rushing river merged with her ragged breaths. Within those first moments after the incident, her mind whirled with questions. Was the bear seeing her as prey? Or had it truly come as a savior from the pages of a fairy tale? Despite the lingering terror, a deep gratitude blossomed inside her for the miracle that had snatched her from the jaws of death. Not long after, the sounds of footsteps from the camp reached her ears. Jake, with worry etched on his face and radio in hand, dashed to her side. The initial chaos among the group was palpable. Panic and disbelief mingled as they questioned, "How is this possible? A bear didn't attack." Sarah, with a weak yet resolute voice, reassured them. "I'm all right. It saved me." Her words, though softly spoken, slowly began to calm the frantic energy around her. Yet, in her heart, the image of that bear remained indelibly etched, a wild creature whose gentle rescue defied all expectations. Amid the confusion, Jake and the others debated how to handle the situation. Some feared that the bear might pose further danger, while others sensed something extraordinary in its steady, almost caring gaze. Sarah, having weathered many storms in life, understood that this incident transcended ordinary explanation. Could it be that nature itself is sending us a message, she wondered. Chapter 4. The Whispers of Nature, Discovery, and Personal Reflections in the Aftermath. As experts and park rangers led by a seasoned man named Ranger Thompson arrived to assess the situation, the group began to piece together what had happened. Ranger Thompson observed the bear from a safe distance, allowing it to reveal its true nature before intervening. Meanwhile, Sarah received first aid at camp, yet her mind remained awash with conflicting emotions. Lying on that rocky bank, with wounds and the numb chill of the river still coursing through her veins, Sarah pondered the kindness hidden within the wild. Is it possible, she thought, that even in a world we deem violent and savage, there remains a quiet compassion, a silent empathy? She began to record her thoughts, not merely as a recounting of a miraculous rescue, but as an introspective journey into the meaning of life and the intrinsic connection between humanity and nature. I, too, as the storyteller, believe that Sarah's tale is more than a mere twist of fate. It embodies profound insights about life. In the bear's eyes, I saw loneliness, pain, and perhaps even sacrifice. It was a reminder that, in this vast world, every creature, human or animal, carries its own story and its own heart. Gathered around her in the aftermath, as the group shared their shock and wonder, Sarah's calm recounting of the ordeal, interwoven with her reflections on nature's mysterious ways, softened the initial terror. I saw something in its eyes, a recognition of my own solitude and pain, she confided. In that moment, I realized that nature is not merely a refuge from sorrow, but a mirror reflecting our true selves. Her heartfelt words resonated with everyone present. Though many questions still lingered, one truth had emerged. The extraordinary bond between Sarah and the bear had rekindled a newfound faith, a belief that life, with all its uncertainties, is filled with unexpected miracles. Chapter 5. Memories, Empathy, and the Impressions. Before everything changed as the sun rose higher and the day unfolded, Sarah began the slow process of recovery. Though her wounds were not yet healed, they bore the marks of life's relentless struggle, a testament to survival. In quiet moments by the river, she reflected on her past losses, on the twists of fate that had led her to this very moment. I find myself reflecting on the deeper meaning of these events. Could it be that in the randomness of life, Nature sends us signs of resilience and kindness, perhaps in our darkest hours. The wild reveals a tenderness we never expected, just as the bear had emerged not to harm, but to save a life. This is a lesson in humility, a reminder that even in an age of modernity and technology, we must sometimes relearn the ancient language of nature. In the days that followed, as Sarah not only healed physically, but also began to mend her spirit, she documented every detail, from the bone-chilling moment of falling into the river to the warmth she felt when the bear dragged her ashore. Every photo and every written word captured a fragment of her heart, a testament to hope that shone through even the bleakest of moments. One quiet evening around the campfire, as the group gathered for solace, Sarah summoned the courage to share her innermost thoughts. "I know many see that bear as nothing more than a wild animal. But to me, it was like a friend, a guardian sent by nature. It showed me that even when we feel our weakest, there is a force strong enough to rescue us. That is the true wonder of life, the unexpected beauty hidden even in adversity." Her words not only quelled the initial fear but also opened a new chapter in the lives of everyone present. News of Sarah's miraculous rescue spread throughout the camp, igniting a spark of reflection about humanity's relationship with nature. Some began to ask, have we misunderstood the wild? Could it be that nature is not our enemy but our greatest ally if we learn to listen and respect? On the Cold Riverbank, Part 2, Chapter 6. An unexpected return. As autumn gradually descended, leaving behind a cascade of golden leaves and the earthy scent of rain, Sarah's memories of that fateful day remained vivid. Although she had spent many days recovering both in body and spirit, her heart still overflowed with mixed emotions. The terror of that initial moment, the wonder of survival, and an enduring gratitude for the creature that had rescued her. One misty morning, as Sarah stepped out of the camp with a heavy yet hopeful heart, she heard the familiar sound of heavy footsteps, a deep, resonant growl echoing through the trees. Looking up, her heart skipped a beat as she recognized the bear's familiar silhouette. Now, it exuded an air of calm assurance and gentle strength. They stood face to face, wordless, exchanging a silent message. In the bear's steady eyes, Sarah sensed a promise. "I am still here by your side, no matter how life changes." In that moment, the haunting memories of fate's storm faded, replaced by a renewed trust that nature always stands ready to protect and heal. Chapter 7. A new beginning and a conservation project. After that stirring encounter, Sarah realized that fate had granted her a rare opportunity to live as an ambassador for compassion and respect for nature. She soon contacted Dr. Emily Carter, an expert in animal behavior, and Ranger Thompson, a veteran in wildlife protection. The three of them met in a solemn circle, brainstorming a bold plan to establish a wildlife sanctuary where wild creatures, especially bears, could live safely while being understood and respected by humans. Convincing the local community was no small task. Lingering rumors, deep-seated fears, and long-held misconceptions about dangerous wild animals persisted. Sarah devoted countless hours meeting with locals, listening to their concerns, and sharing her story, the story of a 68-year-old woman rescued by a wild creature whose tale was imbued with both raw survival and profound humanity. With every recounting, she not only relayed the events, but also wove in personal reflections on the harmonious relationship between humans and nature. Community meetings and expert forums gradually opened hearts and minds. People began to see that if we learn to listen to and respect nature, every form of life, whether human or animal, carries inherent value and deserves protection. With relentless determination and an open heart, Sarah emerged as a leader for this change. In preparing for the sanctuary, she and her team meticulously surveyed the land, designed secure enclosures, educational zones, and research facilities. Every detail was carefully planned with the vision that the sanctuary would serve not only as a haven for wildlife, but also as a bridge between humanity and nature, beacon for a sustainable and harmonious future. In the quiet evenings, As the camp's lights flickered against Sarah's tired yet hopeful face, she pondered the true nature of humankind. We often forget that deep within each of us lies a wild, untamed part, a piece of nature we belong to. All it takes is a little courage, a bit of faith, and we can find our way back to ourselves. These introspections only deepened her commitment to the Sanctuary Project, a symbol of rebirth, hope, and unconditional love. Chapter 8. Trials and Hope. Time moved on, and the Sanctuary Project slowly took shape, but not without its trials. Bureaucratic hurdles, lingering community skepticism, and mixed reactions from the media created an atmosphere of tension. There were moments when Sarah felt overwhelmed by the responsibilities, yet each time she recalled the warm gaze of the bear that had once saved her, or the supportive words of Dr. Carter and Ranger Thompson, her resolve was renewed. During solitary moments, by a babbling brook, Sarah would reflect, "Life is wondrous. It does not always follow our expectations. The unpredictable moments, the miracles of nature, remind us that perhaps fate is a symphony of chaos and order, pain and joy." She believed that every scar, every hardship was part of a larger narrative, a story only those who dare to live fully can truly understand. Working tirelessly at the sanctuary became both her calling and her therapy. Sarah learned to forgive the past, to accept loss, and to transform her pain into a driving force for a brighter future. Every small success in the project was like a brick laid in the rebuilding of her heart, a testament that love and persistence can conquer even the most formidable obstacles. Gradually, the community's mindset began to shift. Forums, open discussions, and meetings with wildlife experts fostered a climate of understanding and empathy. Many who had once been fearful now supported the sanctuary wholeheartedly, transforming it into a symbol of life and hope. Chapter 9. Nature's Symphonion. Beautiful spring day. As gentle breezes carried the scent of blooming flowers and birds sang jubilantly, an unexpected miracle occurred at the sanctuary. While Sarah was arranging some research equipment, she heard a rustle in the bushes. Approaching cautiously, she discovered a small, trembling figure, a young bear cub, no larger than a house cat, shivering from hunger and cold. Sarah's heart broke at the sight of the fragile creature. Gently she scooped it up, feeling the soft tremor of its little body. She immediately called Dr. Carter, who soon arrived and confirmed that the cub, later named Lily, had likely been abandoned and was in dire need of care. Caring for Lily became not only a new challenge for the sanctuary but also opened a fresh chapter in Sarah's life. She realized that every living being, no matter how small or vulnerable, possessed an inner strength to overcome adversity. Under Sarah's devoted care, Lily flourished, and before long, a unique bond formed between the cub and Ben, the very bear that had once saved Sarah's life. The heartwarming scenes of Ben, with his gentle instincts, carefully watching over and playing with Lily, moved everyone at the sanctuary. Their intergenerational interaction became a living symphony of nature, a celebration of life and familial love in the wild. In those moments with Lily, Sarah discovered not only joy and innocence, but also a reminder that life continues despite every storm. She began organizing educational sessions and programs for both children and adults, sharing the message of conservation, of living harmoniously with nature, and of the importance of compassion toward every living being. This natural symphony resonated deeply within the sanctuary and rippled out into the broader community. Stories and images of Ben and Lily were shared widely, each a reminder of the gentle power of empathy and the miraculous resilience of nature. Chapter 10. Legacy and the Journey Ahead. As time passed, Sarah's sanctuary evolved into a thriving haven. Not only did she care for Ben and Lily, but she also became a living symbol of perseverance, love, and the harmonious coexistence of humans with nature. Every morning, as the sun rose over the majestic Montana peaks, Sarah woke with profound gratitude. Each day is complete, she would affirm, an opportunity to learn, to love, and to make the world a better place. Community gatherings, dialogues among scientists, and family picnics became integral to the sanctuary's life. The local residents who once feared wild animals came to appreciate that the presence of these creatures was not a threat but a source of inspiration and pride. Sarah realized that her true legacy was not only in having been rescued by a wild animal but in spreading a message of hope, connection, and the importance of safeguarding life. She began collaborating with conservation organizations nationwide, sharing her story and inspiring others to open their hearts to nature. Together, they laid the groundwork for a foundation that would support future conservation projects, ensuring that the efforts of today would resonate for generations to come. In the quiet evenings, as Sarah gazed out the window at the star-filled sky, she reflected on her journey from the dark days of fear to the luminous moments of rescue, healing, and hope. Every tear, every smile, every heartbeat was a brushstroke in the grand portrait of life. At a small press conference one afternoon, standing before a crowd of locals, journalists, and experts, Sarah spoke softly. We often forget that nature has its own way of healing our wounds. Every scar, every pain tells a story, a lesson. And the greatest lesson is to live fully in the present, to appreciate every moment, and to always keep our hearts open to the wonders around us. Her words, gentle yet powerful, spread a calm assurance among those listening. Sarah's tale of a resilient woman who rediscovered life through the wild became an enduring symbol of hope, inspiring everyone who heard it to believe in the transformative power of love and perseverance. Chapter 11. Integration and a promising future. In the years that followed, the sanctuary not only provided a safe haven for wildlife but also evolved into a center for education, research, and cultural exchange. Schools, nonprofit organizations, and scientists flocked to learn how humans and nature could coexist, nurturing a sustainable future together. Now a vibrant icon of compassion, Sarah dedicated herself to inspiring the younger generation. She organized nature excursions, ecology classes, and conservation workshops, encouraging children to explore, touch nature, and learn that every living creature on Earth possesses its own worth. Stories of Ben and Lily were shared through performances, art, and even documentaries. Every narrative, every image became a reminder of the strength of kindness and the marvels of the natural world, even amid life's many challenges. During this time, Sarah also pondered the legacy she wished to leave behind. Aware that she could not care for the sanctuary forever, she sought to ensure that her work would continue to nurture wildlife and inspire future generations. Collaborating with experts, she helped establish a fund to support conservation projects, a lasting promise that her message of hope and unity with nature would endure. As the days turned into evenings, Sarah would sit by the sanctuary's window, gazing at the twinkling stars. In the quiet, she recalled the early days, the painful losses, the miraculous rescue, and realized that every hardship had paved the way for renewal, standing as a testament to the power of compassion. Her story and that of Ben and Lily would continue to light the way for others. Chapter 12, Farewells and New Beginnings. Finally, as the years slipped by, Sarah's heart brimmed with memories, the joy, the sorrow, and the lessons learned along her extraordinary journey. Even amid moments of exhaustion, she recognized that every step, every challenge was proof of the strength born from love and perseverance. On a chilly winter morning, Sarah hosted a heartfelt ceremony of gratitude, sharing her story with those who had journeyed alongside her. Behind each smile and tear lay the affirmation that, no matter the challenges, life is filled with miracles waiting to be discovered. Standing before the gathered crowd, Sarah softly declared, "I do not know what the future holds, but I believe that each of us can find light in our darkest moments. Open your heart, listen to nature's call, and remember that love is the force that overcomes every hardship." Her gentle words, along with the images of Ben and Lily, her steadfast companions through adversity, left an indelible mark on everyone present. The community's perspective had transformed. They now saw life as a continuous journey of wonder, with every moment as precious As the next stop day after day, the sanctuary grew into a beacon of hope, a living tribute to the enduring power of compassion, and in the hearts of those who heard Sarah's story, her legacy as a woman who dared to love and fight for nature would forever remain.